Greetings and welcome to Make Programming Fun Again. My name is Karol Moroz, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to write a script to import product data into a database. We're going to be using a Postgres database, and this is the fourth part of my Bitcoin video series. In the previous videos we have implemented a basic application structure, a WebSocket client to stream Bitcoin exchange rates in real time, and in the previous video we also implemented an in-memory cache without Redis. In today's video we're going to import products so we can show them on the catalog page, and I found this repository with some CSV data. The files are pretty small. I think they are licensed with Creative Commons, which means we can use them in the project with attribution, I think. And if no, well, it doesn't really matter. I don't think anybody is going to care. And you can clone the repository with the code from previous videos at moros/kinonomichi. I will add link to this repository and the repository with sample products to the description below. Now the first step is going to be downloading this file with products, and as we can see it contains about 20 products with handles, which are friendly URLs, with titles, with some descriptions, and then there are some columns we don't really need. For example, I don't know what this option 1 means. We don't need products that are not published, and we don't need a vendor. So, but there are images and prices. So this is already pretty good. I'm going to download this file, and I'm going to open it in here. I'm going to open it with numbers. And the reason I'm going to open it with numbers is because I want to remove some rows that we don't need. Delete selected rows, and I'm going to remove some columns that I don't think we're going to need. I don't think we need these two. I don't think we need these at all. And then we don't need the alt text. We don't need the gift card column. We don't need SEO title. We don't need this, and this. Delete selected columns. Yeah, basically most of these can just go away. Delete selected columns. And that leaves us with, okay, these 4 as well. Wait, what's going on? Okay, delete columns. So that leaves us with an image with a variant price, with a category with a description and a title and a handle. So I'm going to export this as CSV, and I'm going to save it in in projects, Kinonomichi, and I'm going to save it in a new directory called scripts as apparel. I think this is a French word. Export, and if we now cd into scripts and open this file in the code editor, we can see that this is indeed a text file, and what this file is missing is, an ID. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a script to transform this file and generate a UUID version 7 for each of these files. And since we are using UUID version 7, we cannot really rely on Postgres to generate these UUIDs for us. we're going to be using PowerShell. So if you are on Windows, you can get PowerShell from Windows. I think you will have to install the actual PowerShell, not the Windows PowerShell that comes with Windows 11. If you are on Homebrew, you can get PowerShell from Homebrew. If you are on macOS, you can get PowerShell with Homebrew. And if you are on Linux, you have to look at the documentation, but if you're on Linux, you don't need help. So I'm going to create a file called 2025-0523, which is the current date locally since 2 minutes. Since 2 minutes ago. And I'm going to call it import products.ps1. And I'm going to mark this file as executable. And what is the status of this repository? Okay, we have some changes in go.mod and go.sum, but these are not so important. I'm going to open this script in the code editor. I'm going to add a shebang in pwsh. And then I'm going to define the input file. So file equals apparel CSV. Now we also need to be able to connect to database. So I'm going to check if we have the database URL set in the environment. So if db URL equals an empty string, we can write host error database URL is not set and exit one. And then we can get lines in this file. I think we can do it like so. Get content file. I think so. Okay, so I'm going to run this script and then just return all of these lines. And so what we're going to do is we're going to generate a PostgreSQL script that we can just pipe directly to PostgreSQL. So first I'm going to start a string literal, a multi-line string literal. I'm going to pass it to db_url to Postgres, and you can start by just selecting the current time, like so. Okay. We're getting the current time, which means that we can also create a temporary table with the title products temp, and it's going to contain an ID, which is a UID, not null primary key. But what do we have in the apparel? We have a title, which is text not null. And we have body text not null, tags text, price decimal not null, image source is going to be text. Okay, and then I'm going to use the copy statement, but in order to use the copy statement, we need to first be able to convert all of these lines into valid CSV with UIDs. So I'm going to I'm going to iterate over lines. Okay, so I'm going to define a function called transformed, and I think we can just create a new string array like this, I think. How do I create a string array in PowerShell? Okay, I think we can just do it like this. And how do I append to an array? Can I push? Wait, can I push to an array? Array equals this. Does array have a push, or does not contain a method push? So how do I push to array PowerShell array append? Okay, it has an add. Okay, so array add one. Okay, how do I create a new array with a given size? Array constructor. I think this is a bit too okay, is this going to work or what? Okay, so what is the array right now? Does array have an add method or what? Okay, so if I add 2 as well, okay. So I'm going to use this method like so. Allocate a dynamic array of strings. Okay, great. And then lines equals get content from the file, and then for I equals, we need to get the line count, so line count equals lines measure object dash line lines, I think like this. If we start from 1, I is less than line count I plus plus, and then we generate AUID using GUID generate version 7, and then transformed add ID and lines at this index, and then we can try and print this write host transformed. Let's see how it works. Okay, so it does seem to system GUI does not contain a method named generate version 7. Wait, how so? What version do we have? It's 751. It should contain GUID generate version 7. It's create version 7 or what? Oh, so it's create version 7. Okay. So now we are getting an array like this, and can we somehow like join it with new lines? Like so. How do I join strings in PowerShell? Or something like transformed. Like this. Huh. Okay, maybe. So yeah, this is going to be a variable called CSV, and then we can say copy product stamp, and these are the correct columns, so we don't need to specify columns, from std in CSV, and then we paste the whole CSV and specify a dot, and then we can select count from product stamp and see if it works. Extra data after last expected column. What did we give you? Apparel. So, oh, okay, maybe like this. Extra data after last expected column. Okay, what if we just paste this transformed? Can we do it like this? Okay, I want to see what it prints. Like this. Okay, so it looks like valid CSV. So why doesn't it work? We have a UID, a handle, a title, a body, tags, a price, image source. Okay, I forgot the handle, which is text not null unique. Okay, and we should be able to PostgreSQL DB URL. Okay. And can I somehow output this to PowerShell silence output out null? Okay, and then I can use this variable like so. And I think I can even use it like this. Okay. Okay, so we are successfully importing 20 products into our product stem database. And since we wanted everything to either work in the whole or not, we can wrap it in a transaction, and we can say truncate products, insert into products, and the products table we have is a table we have created in the first video when we were setting up SQLite. So we know we have a UID, title, slug, and base price in euro, a description, and 2 timestamps. So I'm going to open this this migration in a split tab. So we are inserting into ID, UID, ID, title, slug, base price, euro, description, inserted at is not really necessary because it has a default value. Okay, and then it's going to be select, ID, title, handle, a price, and body from product stamp. And let's see if we can get it to commit. So I'm going to run this script, and now we can open this Kinu no Michi database, and we can table products like so, and we do have a whole collection of products in the database. And now ideally we would also like to we also want to store the images. So for now I'm just going to store the images directly on products, and since we are not live, we can undo existing migrations. So I'm just going to run goose down, and in here I'm going to add an image URL, which is text, goose up, SQL generate, and in our import script we can also insert into this image URL, and this is going to be image source. So now if I rerun this script, okay, scripts like so. If I rerun this script and reconnect to the database, we can see that we have indeed imported all the products from that file. And I was initially hoping to also make a video to also cover displaying these products on a page, but this is actually like the 10th attempt at this video, and I think it's better if I just call it a day. And if you enjoyed my Microsoft flavored abominations if you enjoyed my Microsoft flavored abomination of a script, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you did not enjoy, you can let me know in the comments below, but please do not unsubscribe. I already have very few subscribers. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.